What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all doing fantastic as always. Today we'll be continuing our Unreal Engine 5 beginner tutorial series with blueprints, and this is a deep subject. Blueprints are a very core part of Unreal Engine, so let's go ahead and pop open our YouTube tutorial and start taking a look. We'll do some pretty basic stuff here today, just kind of touch on the surface and introduce you to what blueprints are. So we just have our third person template project open now. If you have not been following along, that's okay. You can either go catch up and get to this point, or just start a new third person template. Nothing we've done so far will affect what we're doing right now. So what we're going to do is talk about blueprints, and basically let's go ahead and open it first. Navigate to your content browser. Under third person blueprints, find your third person character blueprint. It is called BP third person character. You can just go ahead and double click that and then drag and drop it to the top here. Alright, so you're going to see a lot of weird looking stuff in here. And so far up to this point, we have done no coding. We've done all configuration in the editor, and we still aren't going to do any coding yet. If you're familiar with Unity, then this will look very familiar to you. This is essentially their version of the udon noodle system. And if you haven't used Unity, then essentially what this is it's a layer of drag and drop visual representation of code. So each one of these drag and droppable items corresponds to C++ code, and actually replaces having to write code unless you need to write really customized things. So for instance, something we can do here that most people are really interested in almost immediately is go to our, let's see here, character movement component, which is on the left under components. It's not actually under the character movement, it's under the third person character. Let's type jump at the top. And under our character, you can see the max jump count is 1. If we change that to 2 and hit enter, that actually changes how many times we are allowed to jump. So you can see we can now double jump, which is pretty useful, but it's still not high enough to get out of here. So let's go ahead and change some more stuff. Let's change how high you can jump. And you do actually do that from the character movement. See, this jump velocity is 700 centimeters. Let's put it at 1400, double it. And now we can jump much higher. So this makes tweaking and changing things very easy in Blueprints. Sometimes it just takes a few seconds to make changes, and it's very human readable. The important thing is that the blueprints are configured in the first place to make changes like this possible, which is a little bit more challenging. Luckily for us, Unreal has done a really great job of providing a ton of pre-configured resources that will let you do most of the stuff that you might want to already do out of the box, such as double jump, adjusting jump height, movement speed. All of these things are already done inside the third person character blueprint. All we have to do is tweak it how we want it. So let's go ahead and look at some other things. Let's go ahead and change how much our movement speed is. So let's type in movement. Let's see here. Speed. Max walk speed. Let's probably what we're looking for. Let's put that at, let's double it again. That makes it noticeable. Yeah, I'd say that's about twice as fast, and you can see there's even slippage, sliding, which is also adjustable. But this is Introduction to Blueprints, so this is pretty much what it consists of. You'll be spending a lot of time working, maybe not in the third-person blueprint. If you're third-person character blueprint, maybe you're making your own. Either way, you can learn a lot by digging around and seeing how they do things. To the end of our first video on blueprints. Blueprints are incredibly important in Unreal and pretty much dictate most aspects of how everything works. Pretty much everything you're seeing right now is run by blueprints. So we'll definitely be doing more work in those. I just wanted to show you a quick and painless introduction into how to get started with blueprints. It's great to know how to start editing how your character moves, jumps, pretty much everything that's already been pre-configured. In fact, Unreal supplies hundreds of blueprints for free, and you can start looking in those to see how Unreal programmed them to work and tweaking them and editing them and figuring things out before you start writing your own custom parts to it. It'll give you a much better understanding if you start a little bit more simply than diving into complicated videos right off the bat. I think having a good foundation in programming is important, and starting with just simple things and working your way to more complicated once you fully understand what you're doing is something that makes life easier down the road when something doesn't work and you have to start troubleshooting. Anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic evening, and if you're able to follow this video, get into your blueprints, get your movement speed edited, get your double jump working. Hopefully I've earned your subscription, like, or comment today. And I will be releasing custom written blueprints that perform functions on my Patreon coming up. So if that's something you are interested in, Patreon is here, and all of that goes to supporting this channel and game development. Thank you all, and I'll see you in the next video.